All right, we are back, and Bryan is our stroker tester, as you guys know, and he's testing the Motiv Blue Coral Venom. Uh, I'm not a huge fan of long names, but whatever. This is about Bryan. Anyway, the Blue Coral Venom was pretty predictable, as you would expect, and I kind of saw the same. Basically, somewhere 9 to 5 was a shot for Bryan. That's fairly typical on this particular house shot. I mean, the pattern really, it's obvious the pattern dictates where to play, and this super walled shot means you get way too much float inside and really aggressive float hook from outside. Always, I would say the challenge for Bryan with these patterns is that weaker cores just shrink the mist room essentially. So he likes the heavier rolling big cores with some traction. I give him a few more boards in terms of mist room in. The hybrid on this cover and the lower diff meant that it wasn't the kind of room he got with, say, Nova or Gem, the balls that big balls that we recently tested. But honestly, the Blue Coral Venom really wasn't bad for a mid-control ball, right? Which is what it is. It isn't a strong, defined ball like the other balls we're talking about. Anyway, he was able to open the angles a bit, but not massively, as you would expect. The grit, I would say, in the cover, while having some pearl meant what I would call, quote, controlled length. You don't, but on the back of that, you don't get a strong flip, but rather a medium arc. This is a chuggy, heavy rolling ball for Bryan, um, but, but not the sort of big asymmetric forgiveness he might get from something bigger. And I know it may seem a little strange to call this ball chuggy, but I think you'll kind of see what that means there. It really does feel like a clear mid-control ball, bottom line. And when compared to the Venom Shock, you can see how much earlier and heavier the arc is accordingly. It's more obvious because of how close to the friction Bryan is playing. And in that regard, it required a 3-board move left to find the appropriate shot with the Venom Shock. So overall, the Blue Coral Venom looked like a decent option in the mid-control slot, but again, I would say a bit of a toss-up if you needed to fill only one mid-control slot in your bag and you were debating between the Blue Coral and the Venom Shock.